I never imagined I'd catch their whispers like that. I was in the pantry, fussing with the silverware arrangement for the evening meal, when Victoria's voice drifted in from the adjacent sitting area. It was airy, offhand, carrying just far enough through the open archway. "Be certain that's her cup," she murmured. "She'll be asleep long before the main course ends. I can't have her spoiling the whole gathering." A brief hush followed, then my son Daniel's reply, too faint to make out clearly.
Victoria chuckled lightly.
"It's nothing serious. She'll rest soundly, like a child. We deserve one calm night, don't we?" I froze in place. My fingers tightened around the edge of the wooden shelf until my joints ached. My pulse didn't quicken. It halted for a beat, then resumed, deliberate and burdened, as if shouldering a fresh load. They meant me, of course. I glanced toward the small, oval mirror on the wall nearby, a quirky spot for one in a pantry, framed in aged brass with a faint chip along the edge. My reflection stared back, eyes steady, impassive, reminiscent of the day I laid my late husband Robert to rest, or the afternoon Daniel first explained that Victoria brought her own flair to our family traditions. I moved deliberately into the sitting area, counting 8 steps along the way. They were at the long oak table, setting out the plates, their expressions bright and untroubled. She pecked Daniel on the temple and slipped off to fetch the beverages from the sideboard. I stayed silent, mirrored their smiles, gathered the beverage glasses, and carried them to the pantry. There, I filled them anew with chilled spring water. On my return, I made the swap, effortless, unseen.
"Her Kopf for mine, mine for hers."
A subtle move, irrevocable. This was my home, after all, no matter. They'd pushed for the meal here. "It's warmer, more inviting," Daniel had said. "And your space has that perfect charm." What he really meant was my place projected the right image, solid, timeless, unlike their modern loft with its stark whites and minimalist chairs that screamed detachment. They saw me as the backdrop for their polished lives. I positioned the glasses precisely, claimed my seat, and adjusted the collar of my deep blue blouse. Victoria reappeared, cradling the bottle like a trophy. "Merlot Reserve," she announced. "Just what you prefer, Eleanor." My name rolled off her tongue like a sour note. I inclined my head. Charming choice. Guests trickled in soon after. My eldest grandson, Lucas, fidgeted with his device nonstop. My younger granddaughter, Sophie, was all courtesy, folding linens without prompt. The table brimmed, flames danced in the lanterns, the entree warmed under a cloth as Victoria tinkered with the setup. The ritual began, with Victoria lifting her glass. "To kin," she declared, "to tolerance and maintaining harmony." A ripple of puzzled looks passed around, Daniel's laugh strained, the quiet stretching awkwardly. She sipped deeply. I observed the liquid trace her neck. Then I elevated my own glass briefly, no taste. The meal unfolded amid chatter of academics, career advances, a possible getaway come summer. I featured only once, when Victoria pivoted and chirped, "I trust the seasoning isn't overwhelming for your diet, Eleanor." I met her gaze, evenly. Time will tell, won't it? The edge escaped her notice, as always. Half an hour in, her eyelids fluttered excessively. She massaged her forehead, reached for water repeatedly. Her utensil paused midair. "Everything all right?" I inquired softly, with genuine concern. "Quite," she replied. Soon after, her complexion drained, her frame wilted, speech muddled enough to draw eyes, though none spoke until she tipped over in her seat. Lucas bolted upright. Sophie inhaled sharply. Daniel remained rooted. "Victoria," he uttered. I stood unhurriedly, claimed her cup, retreated to the pantry, and emptied the remnants into the sink. No comment from me. They eased her onto the settee, summoned help. The report would cite fatigue, perhaps a dip in energy or tension. No inquiries into the contents, and I'd volunteer nothing. Silence sufficed. Daniel skipped the ride with the responders. He lingered, shell-shocked, mumbling about her overwork. Once they departed, I escorted him to the entrance. The rooms hushed once more. "Get some rest yourself, Mother," he suggested, avoiding my eyes. I intend to, I assured. As he pivoted, I added, I overheard you both. That's all, nothing further. He stiffened, then vanished into the dusk. I secured the latch. The ensuing quiet held a new texture, not serene, not mournful, but complete, as if a long-suspended weight had touched ground at last. I settled in the front parlor, palms clasped, observing twilight cloak the veranda. Victoria's cologne clung subtly to the fabrics, some lavish citrus blend she overapplied, bold and pervasive. Even unconscious, she imprinted her presence. Regret evaded me, which caught me off guard. I'd anticipated unease, second thoughts. Instead, sharpness emerged, mist dispersed. I cleared the remnants, stemware, dishes, methodically. No one had cleared their plates. The entree chilled, the vegetables wilted. Sophie had tucked her linen into a tidy square before departing. Such a thoughtful soul, I wished her well amid our tangled bonds. In the pantry, I scoured the ware as on ordinary evenings, feigning normalcy. Yet this night marked a pivot, though once, I'd have dismissed such intrigue as absurd, that my son's spouse would sedate me to mute me at a meal. But time had eroded my faith in goodwill alone forging bonds. Victoria's disdain began mildly, tweaks to my phrasing. You say schedule, not schedule-I, Eleanor. And it's quiche, not quick. Escalations followed. Best to leave child-rearing to us, Eleanor. Your furnishings are so vintage. Euphemism for passé, humble, mortifying. Her wealth was new, ostentatious, lavish attire, routine indulgences, a vehicle pricier than my dwelling. Yet finances perpetually lagged. Enter me, the fixer. Daniel offered no shield, no rebuttal, just deflections. She didn't intend it that way, Mom. Victoria's overwhelmed. You're overreacting. No need for drama. For years, I avoided drama, penning drafts, funding their home's initial sum, offsetting elite tuition when Lucas faltered, quietly settling their revolving debts after a minor request. I confided in none. Error mine, they normalized it, presumed entitlement, as if my existence mandated provision. I endured for Daniel, my sole offspring, believing persistence in aid would restore intimacy, not mere utility, but maternal, grandmaternal ties. Usefulness equaled belonging, I reasoned. Tonight shattered that illusion. They sought not quietude, but oblivion for me, an encumbrance to their facade of cohesion. I cleansed Victoria's cup final, noting suds cascade along its curve, a smudge of her hue on the brim. I rinsed meticulously, placed it to air. Then counters gleamed, lights dimmed, retreat to slumber. Sleep eluded. Their exchange replayed endlessly, her assured nonchalance, deeming me a pet to subdue. I'd muted myself through exclusions, omitted from holiday portraits, labeled helpful acquaintance to locals for babysitting, met with condescending grins for input. Dawn brought unhurried attire, linen trousers, knit top, a pendant from Robert Prelos. Brewed herbal infusion, perched by the pane. The yard craved tidying, but not today. My device pinged at 8:45. Sophie's note, Nana, all good? Last night was odd. Dad claims Victoria skipped meals, but she seemed off. You holding up? I warmed. Such empathy. All well here, dear. Thanks for asking. Indeed, peculiar. No elaboration, text unfit for depth. She'd learn in person when ready. Mid-morning, I pored over ledgers. For holdings, current, reserve, untouched reserves. My signature everywhere, Daniel's on multiples. Forgotten automations, communications, auto coverage, academics, wellness, dues and used by me. Stark evidence. They directed their world on my foundation, now plotting my excision. Laptop shut softly. I dialed the institution. The responder was youthful, eager, overly sunny for early hours. Morning, Miss Harlan. Clara from Willow Creek National. How may I serve? I studied, notepad in grasp, listing outflows recalled. Script firmer than my core. Good day. Review permissions, please. Suspend automatics, likely all. Pause. Certainly, Miss Harlan. Identity check. Routine ensued. Identifiers, Robert's full name, forgotten query response. Spot on, she affirmed. For accounts active. 84 scheduled outflows. Select or full halt. Full, I stated, voice even, surprising my poise. Understood, Clara toned gravely. Halting all forthwith. Resume needs your directive, documented. Gratitude exchanged, line ended. Phone regarded. Thus commences reclamation, not clamor, but serene directive to an amiable voice, severing their lifeline subtly. By midday, inaugural query, Daniel's missive. Issue with service? Device offline. Ignored. I prepared salad, simple greens, feta. To the veranda, in the cane rocker with faded weave, one Victoria always critiqued. Ironic, its endurance outshone her grace. Humidity clung, autumn's I eyed a neighbor trim hedges meticulously, evoking Robert's ritual.
What counsel from him?
No shock, he'd foreseen, cautioned softly long past. Eleanor, if visits hinge on funds, it's not affection, it's transaction. I'd waved it as pessimism. Now, insight. He wearied of my erosion. At 1:30, chimes sounded. Anticipated. Daniel. Attire rumpled, rare. Locks disheveled. Pursuit of rationale etched his features. Mother. He entered unbidden. A question. No seating offered. He paced the parlor, scanning. Spoke with finance.
Yes.
And?
D'un probing, feignet de surprise.
You grasp why. Irritation flashed, bafflement. Unnamed shadow. Settled to professional mask, palms linked. Mother. Victoria strained. Her words were ill-chosen. Anxious for seamless night. That's it. Ill-chosen. Echoed. She aimed to sedate me? Swift denial. Eyes flared. Overreach. Mere aid, relaxant she takes. For your ease. Unannounced in my cup. Hesitation. Admitted. Poor judgment. Near laughter, add judgment. Silence. Arms crossed awaiting.
Sigh.
Not ideal, but dinner's tense. You know, our clashes. Your remarks on her, home youth. I funded the home, interjected. Halted. Initial outlay, monthly, for 7 years. Youth's learning, coverage, her treatments. Groceries when card failed last bloom. I fielded the alert. Comments earned, perhaps. Jaw worked soundlessly. You've claimed my resources, continued, yet sought to sideline me as nuisance. Misframed. Your notion or silent assent? No reply. Quiet endured. Softer. Done then? Severed. Untethering, clarified. Kettle sang from pantry. I pivoted gracefully, steeping anew. Once, I'd viewed restraint as virtue, peace preserved, tongue bridled, grin through pain as nobility. Mothers persevere, women pardon. Unacknowledged trumps resentful. Prevision of Daniel rationalizing tainted brew as faux pas. Post-departure, sans brew, remorse. I gazed at vapor from mud. Tears absent, long so, once troubling, now affirming ceased anticipation of warmth from due sources. Next dawn, consoled drawer yielded archives, deeds, guarantees, odds, thick folder labeled Daniel in faded ink. Spilled contents, drafts, vouchers, unredeemed packs, cards thanking amid figures excessive for gestures. 19 years benevolence, no, purchase of inclusion in deeming me dispensable clan. One for $7,500, infant gear. Victoria's pregnancy with Lucas, tearful plea against used relics. Transferred promptly. $14,000 interim pre-incentive unrealized. Largest, $52,000 home base. Celebratory fizz that eve, Daniel's image of bubbles, impossible sans you, mom. Unsaved. Beyond coin, barbs. Victoria's public emendations, Eleanor, autumnal over fallish. Spare youth those tales, outmoded. Daniel chuckled as endearment. No blows, yells, just erosion till self-doubted bored. Thus muted. Lucas's birthday lapse, unremarked. Sophie's performance unbidden, feigned ignorance. Victoria's fate sans query, solo diversions scene-free. Believed turnaround. Nil. Fresh pad summoned. Chronicled outflows. Timelines, cycles. Extensive. Underscored. Value derives not from large S, but reception post-withdrawal. Phoned Sophie. Second ring, Nana. Tone vibrant, wary, ouch. Hello, love. You queried normalcy yesterday. Yes, you seemed altered. Truth time, not telephonic. Post-lessons visit. Gladly. Anything? You suffice. Afternoon arrival, tentative stride, satchel low, brow furrowed in cogitation. Table shared, no treats, queries. Revealed cup truth, eavesdropped plot, counteraction. Long quiet. Then, her barbs years long. Noted at 9. Astonished. Recalled your scarf gift. She dismissed as mismatched. Dad permitted. Slow nod. Sophie eyed palms. Well, mending assured. Apologies needless, your innocence. Inhale. Next. Unclear. Transformed though. No probe, hand clasp. Evening. Attorney summons, not Daniels. Consult secured. Firm evoked aged oak, ink. Composed aura straightening posture unsolicited. Years absent post-Roberts codicil, all to Daniel, whom else? Now revision. Desk attendant acknowledged, proffered brew, declined. Ms. Harlan, Mr. Hargrove awaits. Thomas Hargrove, late 60s, lean, keen-sighted, steady grasp. Framed my initial testament pre-Daniel's teens. Acquaintance spanning eras, townnet. Eleanor, cordial rise clasp. Long interval. Overlong agreed. Amendments needed. Nod, seat indicated. Outline. Facts unadorned, sans theatrics. Attentive, jotting with nib pen. At cup exchange, pen paused, glasses peered. Prosecute. Soft. No. Unprobed. Drawer accessed, prior will surfaced. Daniel sole heir. You executor, him attorney if impaired. Excise fully. Affirm. Sophie successor. Unfazed note. Trust edition. Insulated for Sophie's studies, abode, prospects. Untouchable parents, sibling, post me. Brow arch feasible. Revocable with external steward. You. Faint grin. Willing, post her consent. Unaware details. Imminent. Drafts commenced. 2 hours, endorsements, clauses. No waiver, course clear, belated path. Concluded, buoyancy, not elation, relief. Exterior, light waned golden. Detour, patisserie, raspberry Danish, Sophie's delight. Apt welcome. Morrow, Daniel rang. Unanswered. Voicemail, lender alert, installment failed. Situation? Return call. Screen fixed, device aside, Flora attended. His hush, my long vigil. Afternoon, Sophie revisited, texts clutched, concern creased. Dad's unraveling, chair claimed. Lemonade poured. Contemplated pre-cup tampering serene. Wince. He denies severity. Eavesdropped truth. Trust you. Danish proffered. Raspberry recalled. Grin, boy Daniel echo pre-rift, pre-burdens. Resolved, shared. Testament altered. Widened. Expunged him, heir, executor, proxy. You installed. Me? Indeed. Trust for your path. Reclined, odd. Nana, speechless. No need. Vow 1. Name it. Nod, misted. Not retribution, clarified. For visibility beyond utility. I see, hushed. Clasp, maternal echo, heard at last. Initial overdue slip 3 days hence. Cream envelope, Daniel bold, my locale sender. Holdover from mail stewardship post-relocation. Habit opened. Arrears housing, safeguards. 1 rebuffed, 1 paused. Tea steeped, no longer mine. Afternoon confirmation. Transfers terminated. Attendant Lisa recited. Mobiles, services, learning aid, dual fitness, premium perks enigmatic. All voided. Records?
Yes.
To counsel Thomas Hargrove too. Done. Thus, unceremonious severance of 2-decade knots. Ensuing hush integral. Unseen din, pings, pleas, psychic tally of non-confrontational yields, inclusion bids. They'd framed his duty. Ever bountiful, Mom. Daniel's rasp now abrasive. Adore aiding. True, yet conflated aid with barter for seat. Ended. Weekend. Home reshaped gradual, possessive. Removed rigid taupe drapes Victoria deemed chic. Reinstated patterned. Her scoff recalled.
Mine, evoking robots down breus, sashtied.
Shelved their gifts. Style manual. And used mixer. Garish chain.
Bucked charity, door-bound.
Space cleared. Tangible. Ethereal. Monday post lessons. Sophie discovered me amid archived images. Parlor floor-ringed. Untouched ages, heavy. Joined unasked. Unearthed these. Page lifted. Daniel at 5. Gleeful by stream fort. Resembles Lucas. Affirm. Laughter boomed. Heads turned. Finger traced. Shift when. Shook head.
No pinpoint, incremental.
Matured. Sharpened. Victoria entered. Bonds constricted. He receded. Shouldn't tolerated her slights. Soft.
No.
Nor I. Peace prized over candor. Pages turned. Anniversaries, feasts. Me cradling newborn Sophie. Hospital perch. Lid swollen. Recall. Premature. Daniel frantic. Held through night. Victoria dozed. Long gaze. No memory. Hours old.
Pause.
Sever utterly? No contact. Contemplated. Less penalty, more serenity.
Open sans demande.
Quiet lean on shoulder. Post-departure, obscured call. Voicemail, Victoria, taut, cloying excess. Eleanor, dialogue due. Miscommunications. Daniel notes you're upset, regrettable. Air clearing lunch. Replay for regrettable as if sentiment a clash. No return. Foreseen, scripted contrition, conditional, access plea. Wait eternally. Dusk, Afghan draped by pain, sunset veiled branches. Veranda lamp glowed amber over rocker. Year's first non-await, non-inclusion hope, non-adjust to alien family. Simply abode. Sufficient. Lucas's dawn text, curt, formal, teacher-like. Nana. Dad says you're upset all. Hope fine. Prolonged stare. Polite, incurious, no query, concern veneer. Disruption self-resolve hoped, gears smooth. Ever aloof, affable yet buffered from unease. Unreplied. Hour later, Sophie, Lucas messaged upset all. Not ire concluded. Line hush, then chuckle. Apartment. Daily check-ins now unforced, presence pure. Visits, calls, once lemons gifted your brew top store. Thirst quenched for effortless regard. Afternoon query, Daniel. Chat? Non-financial. Silenced. Device off, yard-bound. Overgrowth rampant amid others' crises. Root tugged, soil yielded, honest toil. Eve loaf baked. Aroma swelled, nurturing. Mist yeast's alchemy, doze revival. Post-twilight ring ignored. Voicemail, Victoria's kin unanticipated. Eleanor, Vanessa. Tensions noted, but exclusion unintended. Assumed inclusion by Daniel, Victoria. Had I known. Pause. Outreach. Admired your poise always. Motive unclear, sincere or fiscal echo. Irrelevant. Moro, blooms, ivory orchids, card generic. Reflections. Scoff. No petal men's rift. To neighbor widow, pet loss recent. Apt. Week on, credit union visit, fresh start, unshared bank. Attendant aided isolates. Sophie's safeguard, mine solo. No links, no backups, no contingencies. Family alert? Declined. Home. Penned missive mailbox. Sophie's script, lined. Cursive akin mine once. Home odd. Daniel subdued. Victoria feigns normalcy. Lucas probes Sunday invites. Blind to drama label on you. Line drawn, respect. Twice read. Baking lessons, now spine forging. Folder with Robert's timepiece. Bulletin relic, soul youth Daniel image. Post day, stationery procured. Truth writers earn reply, not deceits, voicemails, gilded pleas. Honest ink. Eve response to Sophie. Bread tail, blooms, yard revival. Close. Generosity gift, not bond. Distinguish ever. Sealed grin. Hush welcome. Fear banished. Daniel's epistle Thursday. Tangible. Script deliberate. Effort evident.
Un torniemediate, procrastinatet, te astepet, linen sortet, counter svipet.
Orbited warily. Sliced. Braced defenses. Instead. Mother. Regret profound. Unqualified. Continued. Unaware reliance depth. Victoria's lead ease while neutral. Heard her parlor plot. Fear stilled. New intent unchecked smoothness sought. Reveals my flaw.
No fiscal pli, pamens un mentioned. Recollections, dis hums, dawnbrevs melodik, flubrott besida, tailrepatet till slumber.
Viewed you role, not self. Resource. Ugly wake up loath. Closure. Wellness hoped. Next grasped. Earn reentry if permitted. Folded deliberate. Emotion adrift. Long craved. Now ownership unclear. Undid not. Soften not. But seed. Day's end. Hargrove. Trust finalized. Funded complete. Glasses adjusted. Sophie accesses 26 onward. Prior needs education, shelter.
Sealed, no interlopers.
Protected, affirmed. Well executed. Deserves. Gentle. Families rare this. Anger fuels most. Was conceded. Evolved. Unpressed. Final stroke, chapter bound.
Patiserie de tour, due claies, mine, Sophies.
Apt presence or not. Home as postman neared. Victoria sealed. Trash tempted. Opened. Typed. Chill. Wellness wished. Perception regret. Bridge mend lunch. Her tab. Chic venue. Optics pure. Contrition absent. Folded. Utility drawer with clips. Spares. Pending limbo. Eve. Sophie. Eclair handed. Trust affirmed. Secure future. Explained. Foolishness proof. Even mine. Guffaw. Query. Substantial. Adequate. No digits probed. Virtue hers. Veranda shared. Dusk watched. Dad's note. Eventual. Credible. Regret belief. No key grant. Nod. Pardon. Granted. House access. Pending flinch free. Uncontested. Pastries done companionably. Ache free. Night. Pain aired. Chill crept. Autumn honest. Unadorned. Midnight stir. Avenue void. Homes hummed serene. Mine no antechamber. Haven reclaimed. Unforeseen their arrival. Late light. Pre-storm hush. Rear plot weeded. Neglected patch. Engine hummed familiar. Daniel's coupe. Pristine. Aligned. Rose. Soil dusted. Observed exit. Weary Daniel. Victoria subdued. Trust simple. Barefaced. Uncharacteristic. Camera ready. Norm absent. Ordinary. Diminished. Unmoved. Daniel waved tentative. Mother. Dialogue. No. Porchward. Their turf. My rules. Trailed childlike. Chastened. No seats. Indoors barred. Victoria initiated. Last you'd wish sight of me. Accurate. Swallow. Statement due. Not solely fiscal, though impact real. Waited. Daniel nod. Regret all. Meal cup. Control overreach. Selfish error. Toned measured. Ice tread cautious. Silent. Not aid raised. Pursued. Your provisions, funds, hours, leeway. I deemed nature. Cost blind. Avoided reckoning. Still mute. Daniel advanced. Undoing impossible. Pretense ceased. Mine too. Long gaze. Pardoned already. Blinks. But pardon no instant welcome. Earned. Daniel slow affirm. Grasp. Victoria commendably unresisting. Long bartered utility for bond retention. Help equaled retention. Unsettled shift. Ire faded added. Availability not. Impacted. Daniel downcast. Aid possible? Considered. Narrative cease. Youth no difficult. Tag no victim play. Truth. Boundaries irked. Nod. Consequences own. Adults. Careers. Dwelling I aided. Ride I enabled. As I at 38. Bereft. Victoria's mask cracked. Shame or facade. Equitable. Daniel hushed. Doorstep. Revisit. Pen prior.
No surprises, please, Thais.
Murmurs assent. No embrace, nod, screen shut. Curtain veiled, car re-entry, undramatic, lost permanence dawning. Morrow, Sophie briefed. Truth voiced. Faint smile. Shook them. Endure, assured. All due.
Parlor scan.
Hush profound. Cherished, voices weigh when golden. Afternoon, fresh pad. Desires listed. Modest, sculpture lessons, botanical gardens in nearby Elmwood, revive pear tart recipe, test fidelity. Year's first self-list, others erstwhile, procurements, dues, presents, boons. This personal dawn. Liberty's seldom fanfares. Often seeps, door-sill glow. Thus post-visit morn. Pre-dawn rouse, unprompted, refreshed. Arose, percolated traditionally, veranda blanketed. Avenue slumbered. No hums, sprays, yaps, stillness embraced, time sovereign. Light crept yard-wide, want to oar it. Undistracted notice. Not frail, enduring. Misread hushes yield, quiet as a chord.
Nay, sutay ingan.
Now, release total.
Post mille, passage cleared.
Coats ill-fit, games dusty. Daniel's formal slippers, toe-pinching, suitable, bagged charity. Retained, Robert's knit, threadbare cuffs, cedar whiff elusive. Clutched, folded bedward. Keepsakes memory-bound, not utility. Noon, Sophie. Vibrant tone. Indeed. Post-departure words. None fine.
No sequels grave.
Their turn mine, balance self-sorts. Or not, beyond purview. Hung up, nursery drive. Herbals, mint, rosemary, sage essentials. Long sideline plot, apology-free nurture sought. Home, glove-clad, embedded.
Säufingeret, sun-kissed toilet-clipped ledgers, strained grins foul.
Ring. Daniel. Voicemail void, advance. Eve, letter reread. Candid, stinging less, crust formed. Sophie's reread. Spine line grinned. Hers burgeoned, paramount. Night, solo supper, not remnants, preserved, new. Table slow, radio murmur.
Uninterrupted, unqueried, unnibbled, uncritiqued.
Mid-fork epiphany, rarity. Year's provider, mediator, backdrop, reliable, aid, vault. Now woman-plated, sip-paged, abode resentment-free. Recall pivotal eve, feast, cup, pretense crumble. Victoria's pre-lilt, Daniel's alarm, my poise, unvindictive, ireless, resolved. Some crave spectacle finale, I stillness. My departure, rebirth. Early couch, not drained, capable. No vigils for queries, shifts, gripes. Serenity demands mere being. Present fully, life owned. Light doused, musing, deemed frail.
Nay, endum, vindicat, fortnight guerdlis. No pinus, draps, blooms gilt bailiff, worry masked. Peace profound, year's peak.
Time small tasks, rushed or deferred erst. Entry azure, stores sorted, drape mend decade ignored. Unsupervised, uncommented, undash better way, edition unwatched variants.
Pancakes solo morn, mine, brown dreams, batter excess, zest infused.
Pain perched, tile sun tracked. Second chapter texture. Afternoon. Index unearthed, lacquered, edge-worn. Flower-flecked slips ages untouched.
Victoria d'indens, archaic.
Once queried transcription for Sophie. Commenced, not lists, narratives, origins, favored feasters, contexts. Voice preserve for future kitchens. Eve call, subdued there. Sophie, parents meant. Positive. Awaiting bend. Soft laugh. Endure. Quiet. Ire truly gone? Flame needs fuel. Withheld. Residue. Room. Hush calm. Delighted. Lingered. Studies peers tome. Unweighted exchange. Guilt-free. Post legacy pondered. Not assets, structure, safeguard, but residue. Recollect kind. Resilient aloof. Chill. Blend likely. Hope chief. Ceased utility. Line discerned. Bounty to loss. retreated. Library next. Trio volumes long-eyed, time-scarce. Exit, noon blaze, Zephyr Boone. Home. Sophie epistle, volumes, cakes, index. Front plot wild bed mused, vivid, untamed. Seal. Values self-decreed, life affirm. No external say. Be stamped, box bound. Not downpour triple days, gentle drench, pace slowing, beyond pavement cleanse. Indoor days, reads, scribes, room roams unhurried. Window patter soothed, outer renewal tacit. Untouched by Daniel, Victoria, why unpondered. Second dusk, papered, long-lost contacts. Drifted for devaluer's busyness. Pals Pauline shunned, waved neighbors unhosted, kin Clara two hamlets distant, birthday faithful despite lapses. Reconnect penned, not justify, remorse renew. Liberty not soul severance, reknit valuables, frayed holding ill ropes. Clara first, dear Clara, prolonged quiet, not uncaring, forgotten autonomy. Therapeutic. Morn delivery, not blooms, guilt, hamp, syrup, infusions, berry preserve, note folded. Sophie, self-jammed, bramble-picked, you echo, tangy sweet, authentic. Grin. Postscript whisper, aspire your mold. Lingered sentence, not vanity, affirmation, labor's unvanquished sustenance, forbearance, heirs. Impacted, molded. Vital. Day same, Victoria's archived missive drawer surfaced. Unreread, pitward backyard, ignited. Swift ash. Closure no slam, burden release. Dusk, infusion clutched, pain sat, rain ebb watched. Yards saturated morn bound. Soak beneficial. Softened earth yields growth as souls. Nursery revisit, perennials, self-seeding riot, bloom autonomous. Home, gloved, front zone. Surprise welcome. Control uncraved, vitality. Unfettered best. Clarity arrival ceremony free. Settles tacit, known truth unspoken. Morn roused, Daniel, Victoria unthought triple days. Mailbox, stove, purse corner unhaunted open. Beauty supplanted pang incremental, tome stack, radio dual tune gleeful, citrus bold on bright. Altar paramount, taste, choice, shape reclaim. Sophie first noted, hall piled lit, halted. Furniture shifted? Nod. Ill-placed always rigid. Improved, curious soft. Altered feel. Unhurried reply Eve mused. Steadier, not buoyant. Weekend, Clara's tome. Arthritis, stray feline, choirs submerged shout anthems. Plus, outreach cause unknown joyed. Choices forgotten. Laugh call, widens realm. Tears recognition, not woe, recall. Realm vast, mind constricted for need seers. Widening anew. Sophie, evening strolls. Block loop, greensward. Peers, aspirations, suitor unreciprocated. Fine, won't tutor sight. Halted gaze. Known already?
Nod.
Your lesson. Indeed, deeds, not orations. Know when pivotal.
Peace over pageantry. Exit sans blase.
Night, unseen wiper note. Resilience, not clamor, carried quiet, discarded wiser. Morn found, bag tucked, drove. Words patient trusted.
Perennial sprouted, vern tips, wayward bold.
Soil brushed, grinned. Directionless decision. Mother soul addressed morn. Daniel's hand, hastier, rar. Opened curious neutral, investment free. For briefs, unexcused, unremorseful muse. Home altered, Sophie distant. Lucas queries observational. Victoria weeps fear, not culpability. Irrecoverable.
No parden pli, comprensión.
Sorry being versus change, latter pursued. Close. App check ceased. Hush once penal, now soul candor shared years. Folded counter. Unreplied haste. Response optional. Weekend, Sophie's tart. Uneven shell, over sweet core. Decade's finest. Table erst dreaded, tense theater sight. Now mere board. Duo tarting, survival unlinked. Reinvite. Perhaps flinch absent. Nod, unurged. Guest chamber aid. Not theirs, new aim. Sewing nook or repose haven mused, self-comfort. Perfect, beamed. Bed wall shifted, Victoria's neutral, thoughtless prints down, drapes flung. Light genuine, temperate. Realized, life retaken, reforged. Not malice, rage, lucid. Reinvention tacit, unseen save lookers. No evictions yelled, door unpropped for mat tramplers. Drawer final. Faded snap, me Daniel mirth, frame out jest. Shoulders held, upgazed fix all. Keep. Yes, not passage. Where? Nook drawer. Night, blink leaf. Nathan response unsure. Terms mine. Not penalty, peace guarded, treasured. No flourish finale. Tears embrace, storm-drenched plea absent. Symmetry rare. Culminated choice hushed. Snapped image mailed, mirth distant, tangible. Plain wrap, lunchbox script echo. Meaning his. Healing non-retaliation, non-comprehension abode stand, survey, mine. Unrewritable. Sophie Nook finished. Sage walls, cozy, untrendy. Vintage lounger book swallowing, window lights, mismatch matte. Year's first room self-mirrored. Not dinner mask, converse polish core. Daily haven, door shut sat. Read, stitched, idled, undemanding exist. Perennials flowered, staggered, pattern-free, front vivid. Neighbors hailed, notes mailboxed, photo request. Welcome, unprivate, unvexed. Sophie chuckled relayed. You, unvexed. Truth, no novelty born. Cessation of shrink and alienese. Ire, acrid unfit. Unavailable, manipulation, show, softening tolerated. Daniel loved eternal, no lesson more. His labor. Victoria? Indifferent, unthought. Alien realm, unentered. Sophie frequent, desire-driven. Converse, dine, so, candid. Post-grad relocation mused, not flight expansion. Shrink-free life build. Visit vowed. Enforced, grinned. Hoped. Abode hushed, unlonely, brim. Epistles, tomes, tunes, petals, hours, voice. Even unshaken present. If journey touched, perchance yours. Smallness urged, gratitude feigned, scraps kindness named? Nay, excess not, you fit life ample. Wild so, no affirm, seat reclaim. Hush settle, not overreach wrong askers. Resonated? Echo, note, share cease shrink. Attending. Delight entail? Voyage profound. Ponder, my stead, peace silence or dignity reclaim. Comments convene, curious. Each perused. Whence tune tonight? Echoed? Sustained via thanksgift, journey fuels, kin shared. Screen. Twin narratives urged next. Channel trove, lessons, victories. Subscribe, alert, chapter miss none. Here thanks.